Hello, everyone. My name is Chris, and on behalf of the Colorado Department of Revenue Taxation Division, it is my pleasure to walk you through this video on calculating estimated income tax payments and penalties for individual income tax. You can pause or rewind this video at any time to review the information. Please note that estimated payments are generally only required when an individual or couple have significant income from which Colorado income tax is not withheld. Most wage earners who do not have significant amounts of income from other sources generally are not required to remit estimated payments. This video will cover how to calculate estimated payments and estimated tax penalties. For more information on what the estimated tax penalty is and when it applies, please see the video titled Estimated Individual Income Tax. What do you do if you're not exempt from making estimated income tax payments? The required annual payment is the total amount a taxpayer must remit in estimated payments for the tax year. If the taxpayer's federal adjusted gross income for the previous year was less than $150,000, the total required payment is the lesser of 70% of the taxpayer's net tax liability for the current tax year, or 100% of the taxpayer's net tax liability for the preceding tax year. If the taxpayer's federal adjusted gross income for the preceding year was more than $150,000, or if married filing separately more than $75,000, the total required annual payment is the lesser of 70% of the taxpayer's actual net tax liability for the current tax year, or 110% of the taxpayer's actual net tax liability for the preceding tax year. Individuals can base their required annual payment on their tax liability for the prior year only if they filed Colorado income tax return for the prior tax year and their prior tax year was a full 12 months. You are typically required to make estimated payments as 4 quarterly payments, each equal to 25% of the required annual payment. Estimated tax payments are generally due on April 15th, June 15th, September 15th of the current calendar year, and January 15th of the following year. If the due date falls on a weekend or federal holiday, payment will be due the next business day. For example, last year, Alex had adjusted gross income of $140,000 and a net tax liability of $3,000. Since Alex has adjusted gross income of less than $150,000, the estimated payments will be based on the 100% of the previous year's tax liability. Alex's required annual payment is $3,000 for the current year. Alex has already determined the required annual payment and will divide $3,000 by 4 to determine the minimum payment required for each quarter. If you do not receive taxable income evenly throughout the year, you can use the annualized income installment method using Form DR0204. This method calculates the payment amount for each quarter. It is based on the income received in the months preceding the payment due date. Generally, a taxpayer must first complete the Federal Annualized Installment Schedule, Schedule AI of the IRS Form 2210, or the Annualized Estimated Tax Worksheet from IRS Publication 505 to calculate the Colorado taxable income for each annualization period. Let's look at another example. Jamie had $10,000 of taxable income for the first quarter. In the column of the annualized period January 1st to March 31st, line 1 would be $10,000. Line 3 is line 1 multiplied by line 2, which equals $40,000. Line 4 is the total of line 3 multiplied by the applicable tax rate for the tax year. For 2021, the tax rate is 4.55%. $40,000 times 4.55% equals $1,820. Line 6 is the amount on line 4 multiplied by line 5. $1,820 times 17.5% equals $318.50. This would be the payment due on April 15th. You would then calculate each column in the same order, giving you each quarterly payment due. When an annualized calculation method is used to determine estimated payment amounts, you will need to file a protest with the Colorado Department of Revenue if estimated tax penalties are assessed. For direction on how to file a protest, please see the video titled How to File a Protest. You may be asking, what if I did not make estimated payments or I made my estimated payments late? If you do not pay timely, you may use Form DR0204 to calculate your penalty. Calculation of underestimated penalty can be difficult. We strongly recommend filing electronically or consulting a tax professional to reduce the likelihood of errors. If you do not choose to calculate the penalty on your own, the department will calculate the penalty on your behalf. Taxpayers must retain records detailing the calculation of their quarterly estimated payments and provide those records to the department upon request. In calculating the penalty, a taxpayer's wage withholding, non-resident real estate withholding, non-resident beneficiary withholding, and Tabor sales tax refund credits are treated as payment of estimated tax, with 25% allocated to each quarter, unless the taxpayer establishes the dates on which the amounts were actually withheld. Estimated tax payments are claimed when you file your Colorado Individual Income Tax Return DR0104. For a couple using the filing status married filing jointly, the payments should be made under the primary filer's Social Security number. The primary filer is a spouse that is listed first on their income tax return. You can see a record of your estimated tax payments in the primary filer's Revenue Online portal. You can visit Revenue Online at Tax.Colorado.gov/Revenue Online. The Colorado Department of Revenue aims to make complex tax information easier to understand to enable accurate and on-time tax filing. Please note that all values used in this presentation are for illustration purposes only, and all tax and interest rates are subject to change over time. There are many helpful publications, forms, and FYIs pertaining to estimated tax, which may be useful. We have a variety of resources available for you through the Colorado Department of Revenue, including our taxpayer website, taxpayer helpline, email, and local offices. We can help you navigate through the system. After all, taxes are our specialty. You can also sign up for free emails to receive alerts regarding new tax information. On behalf of the Colorado Department of Revenue, Taxation Division, Education and Training, thank you for watching this video. The Colorado Department of Revenue is always here to help you be voluntarily tax compliant through information, education, assistance, and customer service.